I was talking to one of the girls and she says, oh, you know, you're actually smart. So I've lived here for 2 years now. I'm a specialist, you know. Oh, I would appreciate it if you made a small promise, all right? If I made you smile at least once while watching this video, hit the thumbs up and share it. Just promise me, all right? Wagwan loves, I'm a no. Hej allihopa, jag heter Anisha och jag kommer från Jamaica. Så idag ska jag prata om min erfarenhet om en Jamaican tjej som bor i Sverige. Catch me Swedish. If I got that wrong, don't be afraid to correct me. I don't mind, I'm still learning. My language skills are like here, but it's in time. I'm ambitious, so you know it's gonna. I'm going to tell you, all the people that didn't catch that, I'm gonna tell you about my experience in Sweden. Here's the glorious sun. I wanna complain about the weather so much. We can start off on that. The sun is shining on me. Oh my God, I have not had this in 2 days. Winter is coming and it's really cold. Let me tell you about the weather. Long story short, I hate it. Let me go inside, come with me. Alright, so here we are. I'm in my cozy chair. I'll start off about the weather. Since it was my first time going to a foreign country, I had to go to Cuba first, but you know, Cuba is beside Jamaica and the weather is pretty much the same. I hated Sweden. Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't lie. I wish I could like pretty it up because I know Swedes want to hear that their country is amazing and Jamaicans want to hear about the great life that I was living when I came here. But the first time I came, I hated it. The 6 months, I left directly from Jamaica and I came to Sweden. I came in November and when I came, I was just kind of freezing and I heard that it was cold, right? But then I was like, how cold can it be? From 28 degrees Jamaica to about 3 degrees in November in Sweden. I hated it. So November, December, January, February, March, and I left in like April. But then to me, it was really still cold. I think in April, the weather wasn't as bad, but January was the worst. It was cold, it was dark, it was wet. Oh. It was cold, it was dark, it was wet. And I lived in Gothenburg at the time. So it's like the rainy place. So when it wasn't snowing, if it wasn't cold enough to be snowing, it was cold enough to be raining. So I hated it. But then it's like, okay, let me give Sweden another shot. And then, well, I guess I spoke too soon because now I love it. I feel bad. I feel bad because it's like, you know, I was so against it, like, oh no, Sweden, it's too cold, da 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 da, it's a freezer. But then I experienced summer and Swedish summer. Yeah, Swedish summer. It has a vibe, you know. It has a little vibe. I also got to go to Midsummer where we danced around the pole and I had like the Swedish crown on my head. That's the case about their weather. I don't like it, but then their winters make me appreciate their summers. And I don't think any Swede likes Swedish winters. The Christmas is okay. The January is just for nobody. January likes no one. Racism, because I know that's what most people want to hear. So do they hate black people? Do they shoot you? Do they da 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 da? All right, walk with me. So I was in H&M and I had just moved to Sweden. Therefore, broker than me you could not find. Because that plane ticket and all those expenses of going to Cuba, yeah. But this lady, she saw me and she held on to her bag.
How dare you?
And me, Anisha, was very heartbroken because me and this lady is in the discount aisle. How dare she think anybody wants to rob her? Who is going to rob this? Ma'am, we're both looking at something for 50 crowns. I I would pay for years because I understand. You know? So I saw that and I said, Mom, nobody would ever rob you. And she looked at me from head to toe and she walked away. That's one instance. Another instance, it's always small things like that. And when it comes on to Swedish people, they stare at me. In Gothenburg, they stared at me more. In Stockholm, living in Stockholm, I think there are a lot more black people here. It's the capital. So it's a lot more black people here, so nobody cares. But I'm often the only black person in a store. I'm often the only black person on the train, not on the train, but in like a bus or something, visibly. Or I'll go to a party and I realize there's only one other black person there. But then it doesn't bother me anymore because I'm used to it. I've been living here for 2 years. Then you have old people and children. The old people of Sweden and the children of Sweden, they get me. They get me all the time. The old people, they'll stare at me and I'll do this. The sun is in my eye, but I'll kind of like stare and turn my head and come here. So I'll kind of stare back and I'll do this. And they'll do this. You know, kind of like shocked that I'm kind of like looking back. And then they'll kind of and look off. But then the kids, when they stare and they do this, I do this. And then they just kind of smile back. So that's what usually happens. People that are in their 20s, 30s, they don't care. They don't look at me as much. But you also had another instance where, I don't know if this counts as racism in Sweden, but it was very weird. I think Swedes are very politically correct. I have a friend and he introduced me to his friends. I was talking to one of the girls and she says, oh, you know, you're actually smart.
What?
Yeah, I didn't know what to say to that. I just kind of, and just kind of ended the conversation there. And then I was making a joke and she overheard me. And I said, oh, you know, that's how it is. I'm retarded sometimes. My feet are huge. And she said, don't say that. You're special. All black people are special. You're beautiful just the way you are. It's not because you're black. And I thought to myself, Lord Jesus, she's really trying. Like, she's really, really trying. That's the only thing I can think about, because I wasn't offended, more like annoyed because I was having a good conversation and she come and bother me with her, it's not because you're black. You know, but it's like instances like those, and I've been living here for 2 years now and I can count the amount of times I've had situations like that. But for the people on a general note though, I think they're pretty cool. Like, they have dark humor, almost as dark as me, so we get along. But Sweden is homogenous and most of them look alike, but most people here kind of have the same look. They dress the same, so their clothing is like very black, gray, and sometimes white. They wear the same kind of clothes and the hair looks the same. So a lot of times I mix them up. Plus their last names are always like sons, like Svensson, Lindson, Hansen, Eriksson. You know, everybody's son. A man named Carl, his son, the last name will be Carlson. Kind of like it. It's traditional, it's kind of cool. So when I go into a place, I just really stand out. In Gothenburg, I stood out a lot more. Versus Stockholm, I see everybody here. Like, somebody's from Peru, somebody's from Afghanistan, somebody's from Ghana, somebody's from Eritrea, somebody's from Korea. If you should compare the two people, Gothenburg people are a lot warmer. I'm sorry, I don't care. You have, like, this is me, and this is people from Stockholm. They walk behind you, and they stand, and they go, and you look behind you, and you just kind of like look like, what do you want? And I go, ursäkta, which means you should get out their way. You know, they come behind you and they stand and they don't say, excuse me, they don't say anything. But then after standing behind you for like 30 seconds, they go, you know, like, how should I know that you're behind me? How, You know, so Gothenburg people are a whole lot nicer. They're just more pleasant. But Stockholm, everybody's in a rush, and I think it's a bigger city. People are just doing what they're doing and want to kind of get on the move. While in Gothenburg, everybody's more laid back, and I think I'm gonna move back there. So that has been my experience as a black girl living in Sweden. I think I'm gonna stick around because it's very interesting, and I actually like it. And if I don't stick around for anything else, I'll definitely stick around for the kanelbulle. If you like this video, I like it. And tell me what you think in the comments below. By the way, subscribe. I'll see you.